Okay.
I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is once we get on, I'm gonna try to share it to your page so it's there, so your
Mm-hmm.
friends and family can see it.
Great.
Hey! Welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. Today's guest is Anica
Well,
Barbosa. I'm
thank you.
very honored to have this star, this producer, this director, this Creola, this beautiful woman. This
Oh,
she's just I can't. Hey, you can say really Charlie if you want, but it's the truth.
thank
I've been
you.
so impressed with everything that you have done in your life,
Mm,
and I think you're a true inspiration for a lot of people. So,
thank, thank you.
so how was your day?
Um, I actually have this on. Can you hear me with? Because
Yes,
I
I
can hear
can.
you there. You can hear me. Okay,
I can hear
great.
you. Yes.
Okay. Um, so I'm really glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Um, you've given me so many titles. I love it.
Uh,
I honored. Thank you for what you do too with the community. I'm really impressed. So
Thank you.
when I was invited, there was no I'm gonna turn this off because my phone
Okay.
um um did I lose you?
No, I'm still here.
No, you're good. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, let's have some fun. Let's ask me whatever you want, and we'll
Okay.
have some fun.
All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this live feed and share it on your page, so your
Hmm.
friends and family could comment and actually share the feed. Because the more that share it, the bigger the audience is,
Right.
um, and that you've been around a big audiences, so it's not a problem for you. But
Hmm.
it's let me see, let me share it right now. Uh, there it is. Okay, it should be on your page now, so all your
Yeah,
friends could see it.
but
The
I don't need to go on because I have access to it, but I can
you
just keep my phone off. Is
okay?
that
All
okay?
right, that's all right.
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know if
Um,
I should have it on
you
or.
you can leave it on. Just leave your
Okay,
volume down. That's all.
got you. Okay,
All right.
that's good.
The
Okay.
so I didn't realize how many mutual friends that we have,
Hmm.
and it's amazing, especially where I'm like, wow, she knows this one, she knows family of mine, those
Yeah, here
childhood
in
friends of mine.
California too. That was
Yeah,
kind of fun.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so let's see, got our first comment, or one of our first comments, and finally the Creola Queen in the flesh.
Oh,
Awesome. Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
yeah. So I you know, once I tried to get you on the podcast, and you said yes. I was very excited, very happy. So I started doing some research on you, and basically saying, "Wow, hey, I remember that movie. I seen that, And I'm like,
Right.
so I missed you several times, and I'm sorry. You know,
Oh no, no, it's fine.
the um, California is was my home for 3 years.
Oh, you did
Um,
live here. Oh, great.
yeah,
What
for
area?
in the LA area, LA County.
Mm.
You know, um, I was in West LA, Gardena,
Why did you
Lomita.
leave?
Well, my
What
mom went.
made
My
you leave?
my my mom took us, and it was something that she wanted to do, and so she moved us out there.
Mm.
And after 3 years, I started getting a little homesick, but
Mm.
I didn't go back home. I ended up moving to Florida for 2, and then coming back home. So the
Nothing like home, though.
yeah, so true, so true. But
Yeah.
I learned a lot. I learned a lot on the West Coast, and I cherish it. All the stuff that I did
Hmm.
learn, um, cultural shock when you come from the Northeast. You got a
Yes.
certain type of people, and that's it. And then I
Right.
I met a whole bunch of new cultures, and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
It's a melting pot in
it
LA.
sure
It's
is.
so, and it's so big. I remember when I arrived here, it was like going to a different country.
Hmm. So
Um,
true.
there was so much to do, and you get lost and can't. I mean, I still can't find my way. I'm still using GPS. It's not like there's so many different ways to get to one
Yeah.
place, and it's so big. So, um, I think I got homesick too when I got to LA,
Hmm.
but I stuck it out. I
Yeah.
stuck it out. I wanted to stay. So,
It's good. I'm glad you did because
yeah,
your resume speaks for itself, and I'm glad you stayed. I'm so happy that you stayed because
yeah,
just you're doing, it's not just things you're doing things for yourself, but also there's other things that you're doing, and it's very very impressive. And so, but we're gonna I'm gonna ask you a question, and
okay.
this is a question that goes from all across the Atlantic Ocean up
Oh
to
boy.
Port up to Portugal, across the country of the United States to California and all parts of the United States. Actually, is it Cachupa or Manchupa?
um, okay, so I'll say this. When I was born in Cape Verde, I was raised in the Cape Verdean community and culture.
Hmm.
And the first time I heard Manchu was when I got to LA.
Okay.
It took me a while to figure out what the person was saying, but um, people in LA, or Cape Verdeans that are in LA, I believe are the ones that adopted Manchu because I hadn't heard it anywhere else. Um, I've never used Manchu. I've never heard of it before
Hmm.
LA. So I'm inclined to say it's cachupa because that's
Hmm.
what I know and grew up with and believe. But
Uh-huh.
now, if I hear Manchu, I know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Um,
So.
I think somebody said Manchu. um, I mean, if you go to Fogo or Praia, and I've been to Fogo, Praia, San Vicente, I've never heard that word before there.
Yeah.
So, but as you know, as you travel across the world, the different words change, right?
Yes.
Like Cabo Verde is Cape Verde Islands, and I'm
Hmm.
again didn't really um, know what Cape Verde meant. I mean, I knew, but I don't know
Yeah.
where it originated from.
Hmm.
So, just to make the answer short, if I have to pick one, I will say Cachupa,
All right.
but I
We
don't want my LA friends to be mad at me. So when they say Manchup, I just go with it.
well, we're we're on the Cachupa team, so
Okay, I'm
that's
the
all. That's
Cachupa team on it.
that's
Yes,
that's all that matters. The other team is secondary. It's like the JV team. All right, we're varsity, they're JV.
that's right. And I have to tell you, I've actually become really good at Cachupa. I've been trying, I've been testing it out, and I've become really good. I mean, not the best, but I'm up
Hmm.
there. I'm getting there.
That's it. All it takes is practice.
That's right.
One of my kids made her first pot yesterday, and
Oh,
so it's waiting for me. I said I had to speak to Anica first before I test taste that.
let's taste
You
that.
know.
Okay.
All right. So you were first, and then after the podcast, we're gonna check it out. For
Nice.
for the
So,
listeners,
meat or no meat?
um, it all depends. I'll eat it both ways. Most of the people in my family use the meat.
Yeah.
Some people don't. I have other ways. There was friend of mine that passed away, his daughter would make it with no meat, only because of his health conditions.
Yeah.
And it's just as good as to me. I like it no matter what. And
Yeah. Well, I've
so,
seen it done with tuna, with meat, no meat,
hmm
soy, all of it. But
yes,
I'm definitely the meat girl. It has to be
that's exact.
meat every day.
Yes, we gotta.
Yeah. So
It's I'm never gonna say no, and I'm never gonna
no,
be choosy about it. So
no,
I'll eat it,
you'll eat it.
and I'll have fun.
Right.
So let's see. I got a little comment from a friend of ours. She's known for her actress skills, but she's adored for her humanitarian efforts both in California and all over the nation. She's a low key philanthropist.
Yeah. I like
Well,
people. I must say, I do.
that's good. It's
Yeah.
in our nature. It's in our
Yeah.
nature, pretty much. You
Yeah.
can't. Um. So, all right. You answer
Well,
the first. You go ahead. Go ahead. Actually,
I want to kind of add to that. I don't want to just skip over that. Well, one, thank you so much.
yeah.
There's there's a few people that throughout the goods and the bads, they've stuck around and they've been very supportive of me and my efforts. So I'm always grateful. Um, I will say I've done a lot of things, and I guess it was my fear of not trying something that
hmm
has, I mean, I've tried everything, but at the end of the day, what fulfills me and makes me happy is when I do for others, right?
So true.
Um, I, I, and I've kind of explored this because a lot of people say, "Oh, I do for others," but not just giving. You could always give $20. You can give money. But when you give of your time, and you actually truly care, that's kind of what drives me, right? So I don't want to
Yes.
be cliche, but um, I get a high when somebody says, "Man, thank you. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do that otherwise." So
hmm
I'm blessed that I've been able to make a living doing what I love. So,
Yes.
um, the one thing I wanted to reiterate and focus on during this hour with you, Charlie, was,
Yep.
um, I wanted to kind of, I guess, put a light on mental health, right?
Yes.
I just recently lost a very dear friend, and it was so shocking and surprising. And then, once that happens, you think, what did I miss? Like, what did I miss in this whole time of need for this person? I
Yes.
was so much in my own world that I skipped it all.
hmm
And, one, I want to dedicate it to her, in her memory of Heather. I miss her every day. I think of her every day and what could be in her bright future. And then for us to, the ones that are here and are healthy mentally and our emotional state is intact, that's great. But let's not forget other people. Let's pass it forward. Let's reach out, because when things seem okay, you never know. It
So
doesn't
true.
hurt to ask. It doesn't hurt to make yourself available for other people. So I wanted to just put that out there,
And
you know, during this hour.
First, first, I want to say my deepest sympathies for a wonderful, wonderful friend of yours.
Mm.
Um, and I missed an opportunity to get to know her. And she was another person that she has a lot of mutual friends
Mm.
like I of mine, and and then when I hear the stories constantly when they're talking about her, and I'm like, wow,
Mm.
fascinating person. So,
Mm.
but my condolences to you, the family, the
Thank
friends,
you.
and so. But who knows? Maybe you and I and other friends could put something on in our memory, and really, you know, definitely, talk about the things that you're talking
Yeah.
about, the mental health, and we kind of avoid that
Right.
as a people. So many. It doesn't matter where you're coming from, but as
Right.
people, we avoid that mental health aspect.
Right. And that's,
And
I
go
was
ahead.
going to say that as a, in our culture, we don't highlight it. We are embarrassed about it. We kind of brush it off as, no big deal, but it is a big deal. We need to talk about it, and we need to be there for the people that are in crisis. And again, it's such a lack of education in that department. We're not being educated enough, within the community. So, it's going under, it's not, the light's not being bright enough on the topic. I don't can't stress it enough. I was there too, and I think what hurts me the most about this loss is that I was her. I was
Hmm.
there. But I had someone, that I called at that moment, and they were there, and they made themselves again available. You're there, you're present. And that person saved my life. And, today I look back and I'm like, what could have been so dark,
Hmm.
um, that I couldn't see right now? Like, as of now, I thank God for every day. I wake up and I, say my prayers, and I'm like, one more day to, enjoy this life, to do what I love, to make a difference, to give back. Um, and it all comes down to that one phone call. Um, and I'll say her name. I mean, I haven't seen her, but her name is Chevella Aaron. So
Hmm.
find your Chevella Aaron, find
Yeah.
your person, have them on speed dial, you know, the person that you trust and is going to pick up in that time of crisis, and it's no questions asked. If I go back, I can't even think of her asking, what did you do, why did you do it? It was like nothing. I'm on my way, pick you up, take you, get you safe, bring you back to life, and let's address it. Let's get you into the light. And with this loss, I'm saddened for her, and I'm saddened for other young, uh, people in our community that don't have
Yes.
that, and they look at social media and think, oh, she has it all, or she's always had it all. And that's not the case. That's not the case. Mental health doesn't pick color, doesn't pick, whether you're beautiful, or it doesn't matter.
Yes.
You're open to it, and it's the people that you're like, but she had everything, but she, wow, so beautiful and talented. Why? Because that is also a disease. It's almost like you're going to the hospital for migraines. It's the same thing, but we
Yeah.
don't know that. We don't see
Hmm.
that. We think, it's a problem with the family. It's, the family's not, doing enough, or we're not good enough as a people, or as a person, or a mother or father, and it's just not that. And, I look forward to getting involved in that area more also, once time allows for me to do these things, and address them with our community. And if I can reach, just one young adult that's struggling, that's, questioning,
Hmm.
am I good enough? Do I have enough skills? Can I do this? I honestly am here to say that, give yourself a chance, make that phone call, get that person that you trust and will pick up, get them on the line, and let asking for help be your superpower.
Hmm.
I need help. Do you know how strong you have to be to
Yeah.
to say those words and say, "Look, take the wheel. I can't do it alone."
So
And
true.
I thought it was a weakness. I thought, no, I don't want somebody to know that about me, but it's a superpower. And if you can take that and, write it in a T-shirt, write it on your refrigerator, you know, I need help. hashtag it, whatever, Um, we need to get to that point as a community. And I speak fluent Criollo, so if you want me to say that in Criollo, I'm glad to do that.
You can, you can, you can.
Um,
It's
um,
what I just want to add to that is that friends have to have that conversation too.
mhm,
And as you know, you're going to be there for your friend, you should also open a conversation with, hey, if you need me for anything, talk about
mhm,
anything, something
mhm,
stressing you out,
mhm,
something bothering you,
mhm,
you know,
mhm,
no matter what it is, you can call me.
mhm.
That's why I gave you
Absolutely.
my number.
Right,
That's why you know where I live. You
right.
know,
No
doesn't matter.
judgment.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
You don't even have to explain. I don't need to know why you feel that way. As long
Hmm.
as you can reach out, make it a safe zone. Where is the safe zone? Is the safe zone on your phone? Or is the safe zone come over? Or is the safe zone, hey, meet me at the park, a text? Where is the safe zone? And it's that zone that that person trusts so much that it ends there and we get help. We go for that help. But if you don't ask, you don't get. And um, uh, I think somebody just hashtag I need help.
Yeah, that's yeah, and
Yes,
it's
it's a
so.
superpower. I wanted to be there. I wanted to get to the point where, it's not weakness. I've lost too many wonderful people to that disease, and we, as Cape Verdeans, we're like, oh, she has everything. Eu tenho tudo. Eu tenho de tudo para cozer. Eu tenho brilho, and it's nothing to be to take lightly. You have to get help. You have to.
Yeah,
And then the people that are safe and that are healthy, good for you. You're
exactly.
blessed. Now open the door to being the safe space and the person they can come to for help. So,
So
I want
true.
to thank you for giving me this little moment so I can address that because, um, I've kind of been in a rut because I miss her. I'm, I'm kind of questioning where I went wrong. As far as like, I missed it. I missed all of it. I mean, we
Hmm.
all did, but why? It's because culturally we're missing it a lot.
So
Um,
true.
so yeah,
Wow.
we have to, bring people on that speak the language and that can
Hmm.
speak to that specific thing to the community. And not me because I'm not a specialist. I'm not a professional in that area. But I'm sure they are, psychiatrists, mental health specialists that can pinpoint in our language where to go and how to even notice the little like your triggers or
Hmm.
just little signs, that she's not acting the same or she's been in a room too long and things like that. So find your superpower. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
There's there's quite a few people that are clicking on the link that we have for the podcast, and I can't invite you as a guest, but I want to let you know that if you go to Anica's profile on Facebook, you can comment. You can throw any kind of comments uh, down, any kind of questions. If you just go onto her profile, and the
is
podcast is
there
live.
something I need to do onto mine?
No, I think I see it on your page. I'm gonna look right
Mm.
now. So, but no, I don't want anybody to
Oh
say that
yeah.
I don't want anybody to say that I'm being rude to them, but I
Right.
also want to, and there's some very special people, I see Lala on the bottom. I got Linda Baptista Hall,
Mm.
Maria Livamento. I'm sorry if this is Anika's show. This is her podcast.
Hey,
I,
Linda. I don't see her, but
it's a yeah. So they're on the bottom trying to get into the studio, but I can't do that. At least feel free, ladies and gentlemen, to leave a comment um, in the comment section, and I can give it to Anika. I want to go back to one of these, one of the comments that I seen, and it says she's such an amazing role model for our young Cape Verdean queens, and she raises the bar on how you can stay grounded, humble, yet be focused and driven. So proud of Anica, and can't wait to see the next amazing contribution to her story. And so, and I got to second
That's
that.
nice.
Good job, good job.
Thank you.
And so as you're born in Cape Verde,
Mm-hmm.
you your family ends up moving off to Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
You're raised there. You decide to leave Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
go across the Atlantic Ocean to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And so that produces a lot of things, some dreams, some aspirations,
Mm-hmm.
and the aspirations and dreams that you had are what you're actually doing now, and probably many more. Um, I want to ask you, who inspired you to
Mm-hmm.
be the person you are, be the professional that you are, um, and and kind of maybe helped you along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because from what I assume and feel from you is that you're a go-getter. Okay.
I am.
All
I
right. So I'm sorry, that was a whole lot. That was a big book.
am.
That was a
No
chapter.
pressure.
I'm, I'm just,
Yeah, Charlie, when you don't really know what you want, but you know what you don't want, and you're kind of trying to run from what you don't want to be or
mhm.
where you don't want to be stuck in. That's kind of, if I was to explain, that was me. Um, Remember, I love my country. I love. Um, Somebody just said it's okay not to be okay. Who said that? Yes,
That's
yes,
Claudia. Claudia,
yes,
very
Claudia. Yes, it's
yes.
okay not to be okay.
Hmm.
Um, I'm very proud Cape Verdean, and anybody that knows me will tell you I'm all for Cape Verde. Like, I will show up to a Cape Verdean party dressed in like a flag if I could, right?
Uh huh.
Cape Verdean flag, and I'll be all, because I'm so proud of the roots that we have, but I also saw the other side at a young enough age that I was like, oh my God, I want that. I
Hmm.
want this, but I also want that. So I don't want to lose this, but how can I keep this and still have that? So um, that was my, I guess, part of my journey.
Okay.
I always wanted to um, reach for something, and a lot of the goals and dreams, a lot of times I would think, maybe you shouldn't think so high or dream so high, right?
Hmm.
Because they just seem too much, right? But I was
Yeah.
going about it the wrong way, and this is when, you know age and wisdom, and you learn, and you're like, oh, if I knew then what I know now. Well, it's impossible, because you can't know what you don't know. You have to learn as you go, right?
Exactly.
um, and I finally got, and so I'll say this. Part of your question was who. So it's who really inspired me, and kind of helped me along the way, and it's the things that I saw also. So it's a combination of things and people. I remember being super young, and I went to uh, Dearborn Middle School, and I would wait for my little brother to go home. Well, after school, he would take martial arts, and it was just him and I. We had smaller siblings, but they were home, and I would go and I would look. And I walked in one day and I said, I want to do that. And they said, well, you're a girl. You can't join the boys' team. And, I wasn't going to have that.
Yes.
And so at a young age, at that age, I was like, not going to take that as an answer. So I went to uh, Mr. Gonsalves, I think it was. He was like our counselor, and I said, I want to have a girls' team. Why can't we have a girls' team? Well, because we don't have one. Well, let's
Hmm.
find one. Well, you're the only one who's going to take the class. I was like, no, I'm not. Well, who else will? I said, well, I'll get you a list. And we went around the school getting all the girls. Well, I don't think you signed it anyway. I know you might not, but sign it anyway. Right? So
Yep.
then after we got 2 pages worth, they didn't have the funding. They didn't have the martial arts instructor. I said, well, how do we find it? You see? So then from there, it became, I'm not taking no for an answer. You could
Mhm.
say no, but why should I say, okay, no is
Mhm.
no. So I didn't learn, but I was kind of like, and if I think now, think back, um, it was people like my first martial arts instructor. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what she is, but she was the stepping stone,
Mhm.
right, for me to getting out of that box. Still keeping the box, but getting
Mhm.
out of it enough, right? Um, I remember the first time I saw her. She was so strong and powerful, and I thought, "Ooh, I want to be her," you
Mhm.
know. And it was the first time she sat the girls around, it was like, I'm not going to teach you how to fight. So if you're here to learn to fight, you might as well leave. I want to teach you discipline. I want to teach you how to compose yourself. I want to teach you these things. And I was like, no, we want to kick and punch and all this. And, I was, I think, 14, if I want to, 13, 14. So, and that's exactly what she taught me without even having to teach me that. And that's the same person that 2 years later picked me up and saved my life. And then I passed that on to others. Um, and then I remember another woman that just by her presence, I was like, I want to be her. I want, here's my mom picking me up, and I love her, and I want to be her, the wife, the mother, the strength. But I also want to be that kind of strong. And she had on a police uniform, and she'd walk, and she was stout, and I would look at her like, wow. And her
Mhm.
name is Denise Watson,
Awesome.
Area B2 in Boston, Massachusetts. And
Thanks.
I would watch her just go back and forth, and I wanted to be her. So you don't know who you're inspiring with just walking through the door.
So
So
true.
don't walk through the door thinking no one is watching. Everybody is watching. That little kid is watching. Um, I'll say this. There's a lot of times I'll get inboxes, like I'll post a throwback picture
Mhm.
and I'll get an inbox. Oh my God, I used to like want to be just like you when you did that, A, B, and C. And man, I'm so I'm so emotional because you were everything I wanted to be. And I was like, ooh, that's funny because I didn't even know what I wanted to
Mhm.
be. You see?
Yep.
So as other people were inspiring me, I was also inspiring them. Um, and then there's people like my mother. She has a huge impact on my life, and not because I want to be like her, but I see the struggles and I see the power that it takes for women like her to maneuver through the world. And I wanted to acquire all the knowledge. I wanted to go to school. I wanted to learn other than just homemaking. I wanted those things as well because I knew that that's what was going to break the cycle. um, so many good lessons from her, like somebody, I do comedy about her.
Uh huh.
um, and people, and I'm like, oh, I want a YouTube channel for that, and they're like, oh, you'll run out of content. I'll never run out of content. I have a lot of years that I can literally just in my sleep, and it's comedy. She's the funniest person I know. She's just the strongest person I know. But I know that it was two different strengths, you see,
Mhm.
and I wanted to take that and I wanted to bring it into my life. And my ultimate goal is to be able to give. Like I want to be a billionaire, and I
Yeah.
the song and it's cliche, but in order for me to do for others, and if I could just do that all day every day and change people's lives to the better and leave this world better, I that's that that's it for me.
Well, you're definitely doing a great job already.
Thank
So
you.
I want you to continue to keep that good soul
Thank you.
in your body, keep it up. And it's, you know, it's like, I appreciate just what you did for me coming on this podcast.
Oh,
It,
thanks.
I answer, it's, we have, you know, I appreciate that. You gave your time, you give, and it is so much that I
Mhm.
know you could be doing in your hair. And
Right.
during this podcast, look what you did. We talked about mental health. We talked
Mhm.
about being there as a friend,
Right.
and family. You got to constantly be there. I thank, you know,
Mhm.
um, Damon the Mandan for reaching out to you. I thank Kristen Speller, Marvin Speller's doing that. I appreciate those people. They took some time
I love
for
them.
me, to reach out to you,
Mm.
and then it worked. It worked.
Right.
And so I want you to maintain that good soul you have, and you're going to continue to do some
Thank you.
wonderful things. And
Thank
thinking of, we we talked about some wonderful things offline, but I want to talk about some of your wonderful things on your resume.
you.
Look at this. You got just the film part.
Oh
Got
God.
them in your movies. Got
Mm.
hashtag love swag. Awesome title. I love it.
Thank
Mega
you.
Shark versus the Crocosaurus.
Yes.
Friends Bridge. Sorority Sister Slaughter.
Mhm.
Leverage. Don't touch if you ain't prayed. Pastor Jones. Must be a good guy. Slur. Pulp Reality. The Jogger. And it just, you had a television gig with That's So Raven on Disney, and the theater, solid. What's it? Soldiers Don't Cry, In
Mm.
My
Oh, I
Mother's
missed that.
House,
I missed that.
In My Father's House, Lady of the Mountain, Strong Love. So that resume is very, very nice and
Thank
impressive.
you. Thank you.
Um, but we're gonna go back to some of your hobbies,
Hmm.
and let's see, cycling, unicycle, martial arts,
That was my
taekwondo.
favorite
Yep,
thing to do.
motorcycle riding.
That's right.
See, says pilot.
Yeah, so I wanted to become a commercial airline pilot.
Oh my
And
God, here we
hmm
go.
so let's start there.
Can can you give us an example of what you would say on the intercom of the airplane? You know.
Now, you already know it's been too many years, and the planes I was flying, trust me, I wasn't talking to anybody other than people right next to me. So,
All right.
um, but I will say this: I had the opportunity through this lady that I was talking about. She asked me what I wanted to be one day, and I said I want to be a pilot. And she said, "Oh, that's funny. I'll take you to a place." So she took me to a conference, and it was all airline pilots in Boston. And I connected with this lady, and she sent me an application, and I applied for summer camp, and I got accepted and full scholarship, and I went. And it was Tuskegee Airmen,
Hmm.
Tuskegee, Tuskegee University.
Wow.
And what an amazing experience. So, from there, like I can roll into how I wanted to be an actor and how I wanted to be, I started riding motorcycles, and there's so many things I didn't want to miss out. And, I wanted to do those things. And I come from women, you probably know this,
Yep.
women don't do that. That's not a woman's thing. And, I rebelled against that. And that's, I think I'm blessed to have, kind of snowballed into here and now,
Hmm.
right? Um, then I started to fly planes, and I went to, I got accepted to all the schools, and I stayed local because I wanted to stay next to, near my siblings. And then I realized that didn't fulfill me.
Hmm.
I wasn't excited. Like if I got in a plane and I got 200 people from point A to point B and then went home, and okay, then what? Then I did that, 20 times for the month. And then, I just, it never seemed enough. Then, I always wanted, I liked to be on stage. It was like I was nervous, but I was excited. So I couldn't figure out, like, is this love or is this hate? So I would just get on stage and I would, that we had plays, we have dancing, we have so many different things. And I thought, okay, maybe I can see if I can translate this or transfer it into in front of the camera. And what I really still adore about the acting and being on set and, meeting actors and producers, and it's that I think that acting is like you go on set and people will work for free. Like I've never
Mm-hmm.
seen like a group of doctors like at the hospital, like, oh my God, I'm like given 20 hours of my day today for free. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no attorneys. I don't see a group of people to make one product just come together like, hey, we have no budget, but we have to stay here for 20 hours. Are you okay with that? And it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
That's, and I stuck around and I saw, I mean, um, sorry, I think my,
Oh, no problem. I can
yeah.
hear you.
We love you, Linda. um,
She was on the podcast too.
I know
Great
I
guest.
missed it. I didn't know I missed it. But bring her back on. I love her. So
I
bring her
will.
back on.
I
Yeah.
sure will.
So that was it. So they'll call me right now, and I'll say, yeah, sure. For me, I don't, I'm not at the point where I'm like, yeah, let me have my people read the script and I'll let you know. It's like, send it to me, what character. And if you know that I'm okay enough to play in your film, I'm in, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's kind of, and, to go in with a good attitude to, you know, films, they'll have like a 10-hour day and then all of a sudden you're like overnight and you're still there in the morning. Um, I'm working on a human trafficking film right now, and it's like I'm so excited about it, and I can't wait for the final product and
Great.
finishing and putting it together and putting it out in the world and stuff. So that's how the acting thing, you know, started and continues, and I've kind of grown the passion to produce and make it happen and be the person to connect all of it. So whenever that opportunity comes along, I'm glad that my schedule permits it and I'm able to contribute and add value to a project. So that's exciting. Um, but I think the one thing that I'd like to highlight mostly is the thing that I do every day, and it's my business, and
Mm-hmm.
it's what um, I must do every day. Like I don't get up and check out and say, "Oh, I don't feel like it today." I started in 2016. I was doing a pageant actually, and through that I had to fundraise. I mean, that's all a pageant is can you talk on stage and can you fundraise? It's really the
Mm-hmm.
two. The body, with youth comes, the body, and
Yeah.
the rest you have to have. So I did a lot of fundraisers, and it's like making money and raising money for good causes, and I really really enjoy that. And it was a time there was so much pressure for perfection, but what I received in return was priceless, because that drove me right into wanting to help someone else, and it failed miserably. I put money for the business and it failed, and I wanted out because morally I didn't, like, I've never been to one say, oh, but we can make a lot of money, whatever, it doesn't matter. I wasn't that person. So I didn't want to be part of that effort. But so once I was pulling out, somebody said, it was a young nurse. She came over and she said, "Oh, you're the new person." And I said, "No, I'm not. knowledgeable in this industry, so I don't think I'm going to continue. Well, she said, I can have my boss call you and she can work something out with you. And I thought, no. And she said, well, this is how it works. Um, and I thought, wait, so you're saying that I can take, so the bottom line, this is what happened. I can take my love for people, and
Hmm.
there's a system that all I have to do is this, and they'll provide this, and then we can merge those. And it was golden. I almost thought it was like, this can't be real. But,
Hmm.
after so many city inspections and, they come in and they just drill you and beat you up. Now I know, okay, this is a business and I need to follow the protocol. Like, it's that simple. But that's where I think you call them assisted living, and assisted
Yes.
living sounds really good because they actually make a lot of money. But I really cater to low income seniors in the Los Angeles area. So,
That's good.
yeah, it
But
was a
God
really
bless
sad
you.
thing to see.
God
Thank you.
bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. So,
It's I I was very impressed with that. That's definitely something that needs to be done. And when they have
mhm,
someone with a good heart,
mhm.
um, it makes it that much special. Your home is going to be taken care of. You're going to probably have a better environment if someone
Yeah.
pours their heart out
Oh,
to their
yeah.
business.
Oh, yeah. I noticed the big, huge difference in the fear before they come in, and then the change, you know, right when they're in a day or two. It's almost like the weight is lifted off their shoulders, and really all you need is love and care.
Mhm.
We come from a culture that food is never a problem. If I have, you have.
Yes.
If you have enough compassion and love, and um, it's almost like I'm surprised more people don't do this. It
Hmm.
really shocks me. I'm like, I love it so much. And, you provide jobs, you provide care, you provide, and again, it's the lingo has to be different because of what it is
Hmm.
that you are in, right? I'm not a board and care. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
I can't provide care per se, but I do care. So, I'm always, my slogan is here we care. And, you
Very
know,
nice.
yeah, and I'll give you a story just to kind of give you
Sure. Go ahead.
like an idea. We we are in the industry. Every industry really is inspections, inspections, inspections. Everything you do. If you're doing it legit, somebody's gonna come and see what you're doing. And I was away. I get inspected, and I have cameras everywhere because it's a pretty big place, and I have cameras. And so I'm reviewing the cameras later, and these people that are there are being questioned, by, two or three different people. And every single person, I'm talking between 10 to 12 people, because they, surround them all and they're like, do you like it here? Do you eat here? Are you well treated here? And it just gives me chills because every single person said, this is the best place that's ever happened to me.
Awesome.
And I was
Awesome.
like, oh my God, they saved my butt.
I love it. I love it.
So it's amazing. It's
Well
amazing.
deserved.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
a title given is title earned. You earned it.
Thank
Um,
you.
and it shows. It shows. I mean,
Thank you.
sometimes I don't want to say it this way, but all right, we'll put it. The people you care for and the caretaker sometimes don't get along. So
Right.
when they get to speak about the caretaker,
Hmm.
they're gonna say it like it is. They're
Yeah.
just
And you're right. Because, I'll tell you what, you get to a certain age, you don't lie about anything. Like
you
if it's
know.
not working, I'm going to tell you. So you can't say, oh, by the way, just tell them that I'm great, because it doesn't
Mhm.
work that way.
No.
One, it's always a surprise when they show up. They show up in the weirdest times. Like
Mhm.
I seem to every time I go on a vacation, they show up. I'm like, can I just have a vacation without you? Because I'd like to be there, but apparently that's not how it works for them. But so yeah, so moments like that, or When they say they love me, they call me every day and they, hey, I need A, B, and C. It's always about their needs.
Hmm.
Um, I love you. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my God, it's so amazing. So,
that's good.
yeah.
That, and kind of fits you perfectly. Really
Thank
does.
you. Thank you.
Um, so the movies I haven't seen. I've seen one of them, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna definitely touch up on your movies.
Well, I'll say this. Let me cut you off. I think
Yeah.
my best work is yet to come. How about that?
All right. But see, it's and I believe that only because you 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 give us an impression that you have improved. You're constantly trying to improve.
Right.
You don't stand still. You're going to continue to excel.
Mm.
Um, Look at it, the newest project that you have that you're working on now. Human trafficking.
Mhm.
It's so important.
It is.
And just to throw stuff out there, even if it's through a movie, even if it's through a project, you know, um, documentary, Netflix, whatever it may be,
Right.
you kind of you got to get that message out, and even if it is one person,
Right.
100 people, 1,000 people, or 1,000,000 people, that's what the purpose of your project was to do, is to reach
Right.
out to people. So I know that's going to be great. It's going to be right
Right.
up my alley.
Hmm.
I'm a podcast person. I listen to podcasts every day. It's very rarely that I have my car radio on, other than maybe sports radio. But as soon as
Right.
I can, I'm putting on podcasts and trying to learn a
Hmm.
lot of things.
Right.
And it's just so, I hate to, I got to mention this dude's name, but I'm listening to a lot of things about Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm.
And it kind of goes into what you're just talking about.
Mm.
And, along with U.S. history, I'm constantly into that. And the reason is I'm trying to get educated.
Hmm.
And people, I didn't realize how much education I absorbed this past 2 weeks just
Hmm.
on the 1619 project.
Yep.
I was amazed. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've never been taught this
Never.
in
Yes.
my life, my
Some
home, my
background. Yeah.
school, my
Nothing.
college education. Never,
Mm-mm.
ever, ever.
Hmm.
So, the
I
New York
agree.
Times and Nicole Hannah Jones. I mean, hats off, cheers. If I had a shot of Grog, I'd be drinking it right
Cool.
now.
Well, I have a glass of wine right here, so
Yeah,
so
I'm
you
gonna.
know.
I'll
What are
stick
you
with this.
drinking?
Right now, this is just a little juice because of my. I'm taking some medication to clear up this bad cold that I had.
Oh, okay, got you.
So I have to. I'm drinking some juice. I'm
Hmm.
gonna, you know, keep the halls with me. I'm getting much better, and
Good. Good.
only because everybody's got home remedies, and I've been trying the home remedies, and they wasn't working. So
Wasn't working. Yeah.
went to
You
the
had to go to
doctors.
the strong stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, went to the doctors on Tuesday, and I'm getting much better. So,
Nice.
um, if you have any parts, where you need a young man like me to play in any of those parts, I don't have to be lead or anything.
Nothing.
I could be Tio in the background,
Right.
I
Right.
could, or sitting under the tree or something, anything.
I know. I'm always connecting with East Coast people so we can work more. I want to work
Hmm.
more, but there, bring new, just new, fresh faces and, just
Yeah.
get them involved, get them excited about, um, just other things. Because, I mean, I remember growing up not thinking that the things that I do could have been careers, could have been something that I can make money doing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm blessed enough to be able to have something that's solid and I don't depend on it because I probably starve. But, um, producers make a lot of money.
Yes.
Directors make a lot of money. If you can executive produce, if you have the money and you can do that. I mean, those people live good lives. They make good
Sure
money,
do.
but we don't know that because we're not exposed to those things. So, we think modeling, right? Obviously, if you start at 30, that's not going to work. I mean, it could work, but
Yeah.
if that's exactly what you want to do, there's so the the protocol, right? The protocol's there, like the formula is there.
Uh-huh.
You just have to, even though it's hard and it will always be hard, there's always a way. And if you stay consistent and stay focused on exactly what you want, because look, I think I was speaking to somebody just recently. The worst thing for me is when somebody calls me and they know I live in LA and they're like, "Oh, I want to go pursue the entertainment industry." And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "What is it that you want to do?" "Oh, I don't know yet. I think I want to act or model." See, when your passion is there, you
Yeah.
have no doubt. You will live in your car.
Uh-huh.
And I know you've heard this story 1,000 times. Steve Harvey or person baby and C.
Yes.
I've lived in my car, lived in my car before. I've been homeless in LA inside my car, and that is the truth. So when you hear these stories, you know what that tells you or should tell you? That no matter what I need to go through, what I need to endure during this period to become, boom, an actor, to become, and I remember back then when I was like, I want to be an actor. No, if you want to be an actor, you can be an actor. It's not like,
Exactly.
oh my God, you can be an actor. That is like possible. You can do it. Now, is it easy? No. Can you just come in and be cute? No, you got to grind it, go to class. You need to work and pay for those classes, and you need to get your headshots. You need to A, B, and C. You need to do those things and do it early. Don't wait until
Exactly.
So, um, anything is possible. I'm telling you,
Yes.
anything. But just know what you want. Just be adamant and find your passion. And people say all the time, make your passion your business. And like, what
Uh-huh.
does that mean? What do you love? Like example, I have a young brother. He loves bicycles, right?
Yes.
That's his thing. He can, jump fences. He can do all that. Well, he's made a business out of bicycles,
Wow.
t-shirts, a bike team, bike group, bike shop, a bike this, and
I love
he's
it.
not working. He's making money doing what he loves, and that's
Yeah.
what you need to find. Are you a good writer? People in our culture, writing is not a career. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it
It is.
is. And it's a big one. You and I talked
Uh-huh.
briefly,
Yes.
writing a book, writing this. You think that's easy? Like, I'll pay anything, anything. So think about that.
Yeah.
That means you can sit down, do what you love, and get paid for it, and not
Exactly.
be at work every day, and anything is open to you as long as you know, I have to work hard. I'm not
Uh-huh.
going to take the easy route. I'm not going to take shortcuts, and I'm going to give myself a good solid. They say if you put 10 years into anything, you're a professional at it.
Uh-huh.
Just know you are in a 10 years. So if you're 20, you will be doing what you do for full time, doing what you love at 30. That means you retire at 30. That means you have people
Awesome.
working for you at 30. You see the concept? But I didn't
Yes.
have that. I didn't have
Uh-huh.
that, I went to business school after. I'm not a book person either. Like, I'm not a school person, but I had to try, right? Because I knew in order for me to move on to bigger things, I had to learn things, right? So, you read books and stuff, and now I love to read, but um, that's
Awesome.
the thing. You can become a professional at the one thing you love by zoning in and going after that thing. And people will
Just
say no. And guess
yeah.
what?
Just gotta be loyal and dedicated.
That's
I
right.
mean,
That's
I
right.
had a I had a young man on this podcast. He's from New Bedford, and he was working at a local restaurant, and then moved on to the U.S. Post Office. But he wanted to be an actor, so
Hmm.
He leaves New Bedford, goes down to New Orleans, um, gets a role in NCIS, you know, uh, and his name's Earl White, you know, and he's from here, you know. But it just
Nice.
goes
To
to
show.
talk about show what you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and that but you got to have that drive, and he had that
Mm-hmm.
drive, and he just,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so proud of him, you know,
Good for
and it,
him.
and he's got some other roles that he's trying to do, so
Right.
it's possible,
Yeah.
and California's a big state,
Big.
and you just gotta go out there.
But there's so much opportunity here.
Yeah,
So,
there is,
you
there
know,
is.
if you come focused, you have a plan, always have a plan anywhere you are and anywhere you go. And come ready to grind and ready to live in your car if you need to. I mean, that makes your story. That's part of your journey, you know. I can tell you my journey has not been easy, but
Hmm.
here I am and I
That
wouldn't change it. I wouldn't
that's what
change it.
that it hasn't been easy,
Yeah.
and things have gotten better. But
Yes.
that's why Anica Barbosa is going to write a book that we all can read, and you can
The Anica
autograph it.
Barbosa story. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we won't worry about the title. We're going to just get the content.
That's right.
So
Well,
you,
if there's a writer out there, hello.
oh man, I know a few of
Hmm.
them, including myself. But it's I had a nice little book reading today. I read one of my poetry books to a couple of older people. You know, I won't say seniors, but they were older. And I enjoyed reading some of my poetry to them. And I offered
Nice.
them, and I said, hey, want to get a book out there? You want me to write about somebody? I'll do it for you.
Oh,
But
nice.
it's writing is good for me. It's my, as I
Good.
call it, my tempo sensation, and that's what it is
Yeah.
for me.
It's such a
So
skill, too. Such
yeah,
a skill.
yeah.
Good for
The
you.
so we have went a little over an hour, but I want you to do a couple of things. One is, um, you know, give us an ending message, and the second thing is, well, the first thing before that, who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
Hmm. Wow. Um, okay, so I'll answer the second question first.
Okay.
Right. Um, I really meet some really wonderful young people that are just so driven and so um, focused, right? Um, right now, if I can think of one person, um, I met him on the CVBP page. Um, and that's another person. Now I'm thinking about like 1,000 other people, but um, you know, and I'll just mention two people because one, they're so supportive of the Cape Verdean community. It's like, I remember doing one of my shows, one of my like fundraising shows, and I woke up the next morning after the show, and my
Mhm.
whole life changed, my whole life, and it was all because of him. And
Wow.
he just took it and he promoted it, and he was so motivated by what we were doing in the West Coast, and it's Patrick Rodriguez, right? And he's such an exciting young person that I'm like, man, just hearing you talk makes me want to like get up and just go take over the world. Like, let me go do that, and then I'll call you back. Um, and it's him, and you know, I have a book behind me. I don't know if you see right there. It's Lucy Cantino. She's right there.
I
And
had her. I I had her on there.
you had, oh my God, love her.
I got
And
her.
I'm
I got her
working on
book.
another book,
I got her.
Moramaza. You got to have him on as
I have
well.
him. I had him on there.
You had
Custodial.
him on?
Yeah. Custodial. Lucy. Probably maybe about 3 months ago.
Oh, see, I didn't know. I didn't know about your
Yeah.
show even.
So,
Yeah.
and I mean, as great a guest as they are,
Yeah.
reading their books, oh my God, I'm even more impressed. So,
Yeah. I'm
you
starting
know,
his now. So,
yeah,
yeah.
it's awesome, and you know they, but you know what, just shows you what our circle is and
Yeah.
what type of people that we're involved in, and
Right. So much
but
talent. There's so
yeah,
much talent. So much talent. So much wonderful stuff. And another gentleman is Zandir Santos, I think it's his last name, which I will introduce you to him because he's
sure,
just a really focused young man and he's out that way as well. Um, Again, I meet so many that I probably can have so many on your show that just need to be highlighted, just need to be, promoted, and we need to work, amongst each other to support our businesses. And there's so much talent just within our community. That's one. My favorite, so my closing line is my favorite saying is a tree can only grow as tall as the roots are deep. And we have some really deep roots in our community. I miss my Cape Verdean community. I try to support from afar. I try to keep the roots as much here as I can, supporting the businesses here as well. Um, but knowing that we come from such strong roots, we need to know that, and we need to hold on to that, and we
hmm,
need to nurture that, and that's
yes,
starting with us.
so
So
true. I love it. It's um,
yeah,
great closing.
thank you.
Please, Anika, can you know, join the Really Charlie podcast group on Facebook?
Mm.
Because what I like to do is share everything that I see that you're involved in, anything that you may be posting. You know, you're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You know, it just goes on. You have your own website. I want to share those things so we can bring more people to you, more people
Yes,
to admire you, more
thank
people
you.
to use you as a mentor, even if it's from afar. I
Hmm.
definitely want to, you know, I'm definitely going to do that like I did with
Yeah.
Custodio Gomes and Lucy. Everything that I see them posting that's
Oh yeah.
pertaining to them, I try to put it out there. So
Right. Nice.
and
Well, thank you for having me. This was a great hour. Thank
thank
you.
you,
Thank
thank
you.
you. And
Appreciate it.
next time, whether I go out to the West Coast or you come to the East Coast, please let me know you're around.
Yes.
I like to introduce myself to you
Yes, we
formally,
yes.
and
Finally meet. Yes.
yeah, and get you to
Perfect.
meet my family. But anyways, you're the greatest. You're one of the best.
Thank you.
You absorb that,
Thank you.
and I'm not just saying that. The people in
Thank you.
your building, part of your business, they say it every day. It's
Thank
one
you.
of the best.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. All
all
right.
right,
You have a
thank you.
great evening.
All right, and I'm gonna
Uh,
go eat my cachupa.
Catch you up, so
Yeah,
jealous. All right. Bye
love you.
bye.
Take
Love
care.
you. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
bye bye. What a great guest, Anica Barbosa, director, producer, actress, business owner, definitely doing things for the community, and she's doing it through the kindness of her heart, the soul, you know, the kind old soul that she is. She's definitely doing great things. So, like I said, her name is Anica Barbosa. Continue to support her. Find her on all the various social media outlets, the platforms. Support this beautiful woman. Um, you know, she definitely deserves it. She's doing everything that she can to be a good person on a daily basis. Let's do her a favor and support her as much as we can, even if it's posting something that she's involved in. Please do it. All right, everyone. This was a great show. definitely a great podcast. I want to thank two of my viewers, three of them actually, Damon Amandon, Marvin Speller, and Kristen Speller, for introducing me to the guest we had today, Anica Barbosa. And I really appreciate it, and it goes a long way with me. All right, tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. Our guest will be local artist, Rocking, and he's going to share some stories with us, in the music industry. And I can't wait to listen to that fine guest too. All right, y'all. Love you. God bless. Be blessed. Be well. Have a good night, everyone.